Off the 8th generation, updates were in 2021 with new wheel design, safety. Stadium Toyota has given us the 2022 Toyota Camry SE in white. The sporty sedan definitely gives the rivals like Honda, Nissan, Mazda a run for its money. In the inside, room for 5, plenty of leg room and headroom, all the latest amenities and technology. Toyota Safety Sense 2.5 Plus. Is the 4-cylinder SE going to be the sporty, dynamic styling and the drive when we're comparing it against Honda, Nissan, or Mazda? Is the 4-cylinder the best bang for your buck? I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and I'm going to go over all the specs and details starting now. The new Toyota Camry SE is definitely going to be the everyday drive that you need, with clearance starting at 5.7 inches, which puts it spot on with the rivals. LED headlamps that brush into the enlarged grille, and I do like how it's a 2-tier because you have the painted on the top with the Toyota emblem. On the bottom, it's going to be matte black, and it brushes into the non-functional side curtain with the matte black yet again, and it gives you a little bit of a spoiler lip that bulges out the wheel arches. You're going to have some aerodynamic lines that go down the side, and even on the side view mirror cap. All chrome around all of your window treatment. LED tail lamps with the side vent underneath it, so it gives an aggressive exit with a more or less diffuser. Dual exhaust on one side, which I wish this was a quad exhaust or just put one on each side. It would make it look a little bit more sporty. And your trunk spoiler lip. So all of the dynamics on all 4 corners, you're going to have a sporty design, especially when you get into the SE. It's going to really make it a little bit more pleasing in the sense that you're going to get the side rockers that's going to flow into these 18-inch. They're multi-spoke alloy wheels. The disc reading behind it at 12 inches, and the rear is at 11.06. The shortest in length at 192.7 inches, a wheelbase at 111.2 inches. An independent McPherson strut front suspension, a multi-link rear suspension. Both the front and the rear will have your coil springs and your anti-roll bars. Toyota Safety Sense 2.5 Plus. What is that going to entail? Pre-collision system with pedestrian detection, dynamic radar cruise control, lane departure alert with steer assist, lane trace assist, automatic high beams, road sign assist, plus your reverse camera. When you are looking at the price savings, this is going to be nearly $10,000 cheaper than the Nissan Maxima. It's pretty much spot on with the Honda Accord. I do like the fact that they keep that aggressive look in the rear, and then for your cargo, you're going to have to use your key to get in, and this is not on me. Take 1, take 2, I got the key down. And for your cargo, you're at 15.1 cubic feet. There is a spare tire that's going to be tucked underneath the floor, and the rear bench split folds at a 60-40 split. That's going to max the cargo. The Honda Accord will be the most at 17 cubic feet, but this will be more than the Nissan Maxima. 4-cylinder, it's not going to be so beefy in the exhaust note, but you're not going to know that until we start it up. Let's check it out now. The new Toyota Camry SE with the 4-cylinder is definitely going to be optimal for your gas consumption. It's going to be a touch less than the Honda, but it's definitely going to beat the Nissan Maxima, and they back the performance with a 2.4-liter 4-cylinder engine, producing 206 horsepower with 186 pound-feet of torque. That's paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, achieving 28 to 36 mpgs, 0 to 60 under 8 seconds, quarter mile, 16 seconds. A top speed ties all of the rivals at 116 miles per hour. This is faster than the Honda Accord, the 1.5 liter. It's going to be a touch slower than the Nissan Maxima, but the price point again is nearly $10,000 more than this spec, and you're getting so much sport the interior you're going to see, and you get all the latest safety technology. If you need more power, you can always option the V6. That has 301 horsepower, a 0 to 60 in the 5-second perimeter, which puts it spot on to the Nissan Maxima, and the price point is right at the same. So when you are thinking about this, Toyota is definitely giving you a great bang for your buck. Is it worth it? Let me know in the comments what you think about the new 2022 Toyota Camry SE. As we go into the interior, go over the tech, and take this for our test run. Entering inside the Toyota Camry SE, you're going to receive 38.3 inches of headroom, 42.1 inches of legroom, sport soft tech trim front seats with the fabric inserts. The pattern is, retro. I think they're doing a decent job with that. And you do have 8-way power adjustment for the driver, 6-way manual adjustment for the passenger. I do like the sporty setup. So you're going to have this gloss black that's metallic throughout the dash with a carbon fiber look, and it goes into the air vents that also keeps that gloss black on the interior. On the exterior, you're going to get the silver, and it wraps into this 8-inch touchscreen infotainment. We don't have navigation, and we do have the standard 6-speaker audio sound system, which comes with Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, Amazon Alexa, Bluetooth connectivity, AM, FM, Sirius XM. Switch it to reverse. You do have the lines. They don't move. It does cover the whole screen, so I do like that it's easy in that attribute, so you don't have to worry too much. Working down the lower, you got your climate control, and yet again, the seamless look. It's kind of driver focused because they got this little lip here that's going to cover your 12-volt and your USB, an area that you can put a large cell phone. Cup holders, a 16.9-ounce fits without any issues. The gear lever will have the leather wrap. You got your driver mode select for eco, normal, sport, and then where you rest your elbow is going to be a little bit more sporty to ride. Open up inside, you're going to have 2 USB ports. It's pretty deep. It's not necessarily too bad in the width either, and I like that the storage capacity in the center is more or less efficient, just kind of closed off from the passenger, so it makes it a little bit more sporty when we're comparing it to the rivals. Steering wheel is going to be multi-function. You're going to get the silver that's going to outline it, paddle shifters. The gauge cluster will have a TFT display that can go through an array of information for the driver. Otherwise, it's analog for your tach and your odometer. Door panel, harder materials on the top and in the center. One touch up and down for the front windows. Elbows are going to be pretty soft, and the storage pocket is pretty decent. You can probably fit about 2 16.9-ounce water bottles. Comparing the front to the rivals, it's going to be the least in headroom and legroom, and cargo capacity is pretty much about the same. Let's check out the back seats. For the back seat, headroom at 38 inches, legroom at 38 inches. This is going to be better than the Nissan Maxima. Headroom is going to be better than the Honda Accord. For your elbows, it's going to be super soft in the center where your cup holders rest for about a 20-ounce. You have a storage tray here, storage behind both of the front seats. The floor is not completely flat. Door panel, harder materials pretty much all over except for where you rest your elbows. In the storage pocket, you could probably fit about 2 16.9-ounce water bottles. So yet again, the storage is actually about the same as the rivals, just the width actually feels a little bit more wider here. Let's see how I look in the center. Sitting into the center, headroom is no issue, nor is legroom. I am sharing feet, butt, shoulder space. You could fit 3 adults, 6'3", my dimensions, without too many issues, and that is a nice thing because we have a little bit more space in the back seats than the rivals. Taking the 2022 Toyota Camry SE out for our test run. This is the 4-cylinder, so you have over 200 horsepower, and it's actually more horsepower than the Honda Accord 1.5 liter. It's obviously going to be less than the Nissan Maxima, but the price point is significantly different, like I was saying. Plus, both two of those are CVT option. This is an 8-speed automatic transmission, so that already is a plus in my book. And we're going to see how well she is. Give her a little go here. It's a smooth ride. Toyota does a great job with the suspension layout, especially with the ground clearance. It's going to be a lot better than the rivals. Visibility is also good. Very similar to the Accord because they do a great job as well with the A-pillars pushed back and they're thinner, so that way you can see. With the Nissan Maxima, it's going to be a little bit wider, so it's going to have a little bit more of an eyesore. But as for the windows, I mean, you can see pretty much all around you. Blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, you're pretty much taken care of with Toyota Safety Sense. Not trying to rhyme, but it is what it is. As for the braking, we're going to check that as well, and I'm going to speed up just a little bit so you can see some harder braking in the vehicle. And here we go. And it is pretty decent. I mean, the numbers do project good, and it does have a good braking to it. 206, 186, there we go. I will say, if you test drive this first, this will be efficient for you. The V6 will be a lot more power, a lot more dynamics underneath it. If you go into the TRD spec, they're also going to lower the vehicle about 0.8 millimeters to make it a little bit more aggressive. They don't really do anything otherwise besides giving you a catback exhaust note. But when we are looking at from the rival perspective, I mean, this is definitely a great vehicle for commuting and everyday and longevity, plus the gas consumption. It's great. I'm going to check that turn radius at more or less a stop point. Gonna get about 2 in a part lane. Let's rock and roll. When you get onto it, you will start hearing the noise of the engine. It's a 4-cylinder. It's nothing going to be crazy in the sense of a nice note, but it's not something too undesirable. So getting up onto the interstate shouldn't be an issue. So I do like the fact that all of the boxes are ticked for the safety, and even on the performance, yes, it's not going to be the best, and the torque really should be more in the 200, but it is efficient for what it is. Stop point. Now it's going to take me to the 3 things that I like and 3 things that I dislike. Because anything more than that, I'd be buying this Camry. The 3 things that I like starting off with is this is not the longest vehicle, but inside they give you so much more space. So when you are looking for rear occupants, you actually get the best bang for your buck because you get more head space. For someone that's 6'3" like me, that's something great. Leg space, you're going to be beating the Nissan Maxima. So in both perimeters, just a nice little attribute. The second thing that I like about the vehicle is how smooth Toyotas are. It's not butter smooth like the Lexus, but it is very similar. The performance, there's obviously a disadvantage to it because it's a 4-cylinder 2.5 liter, but then you got to look at the advantage of the gas consumption. The second thing that I like about the vehicle is the sporty styling that comes inside the cabin. It's not grown up, it feels very sporty. When you're looking at Honda or Nissan, they've went the grown-up style. With Toyota, they've kept it sporty on the exterior and brought it into the interior. The elements just is spot on. And let's rock and roll. And the last thing that I like is how this center cluster just gives you optimal storage space for the driver, and it still gives you access for the passenger. But on the flip side, 3 things that I dislike is its driver focus. So the only thing the passenger really can look forward to is when I move my elbows or my arms so they can open up this and use that one cup holder. The second thing that I dislike is on the door panels. It's going to lack in storage on the front and on the rear when we're comparing it to the rivals. The last thing that I dislike is because this is the smaller engine, you will have to get on to about 2.5 to 3 RPMs on all perimeters of driving to keep up with the traffic, because this is not going to be the fastest when we're comparing it to the rivals. But on the flip side to it, I mean, you're getting great MPG, so you have to overlook it. You got an 8-speed automatic transmission, so this is something that is a little bit more desirable than a CVT. Dynamics stays pretty planted for the most part. You can hear the Toyota Safety Sense 2.5 Plus just working rapidly to just make sure that I stay focused and safe on the road. For an everyday vehicle, it ticks all the boxes, especially that it's not the longest vehicle, so it also makes it easier whenever you're doing maneuverability, getting in and out of lanes. You're not going to have any issues at all. Comfortable for a long journey, especially even sitting into the rear. Whether you're driving the car or being in the passenger seat, you're going to have some fun. The dynamics, you can play with it a little, and it still stresses the sportness with the SE trim. I like to thank Stadium Toyota for giving us this 2022 Toyota Camry SE for our car review. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Hawkeye community. If not, click the next video, the subscribe button. Check out the details, merchandise, website, and everything we do here at Hawkeye Rides.